keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
With your news at noon, I'm Kevin Smith. ExxonMobil subsidiary Esso Exploration and Production Ghana Limited has revealed that the country's imminent gas-to-energy project, to be based in Wales, will cost way more than the initial $900 million. In fact, the aspect of the project for which the oil company is responsible, that is to say the installation of the offshore and onshore pipelines, is set to cost a whopping $1.3 billion. This was noted in the environmental impact assessment that was prepared for the project. In the assessment, Esso said it has not yet made a final investment decision on the project and is continuing to evaluate cost considerations during the project development process. But for the time being, it said the current project cost estimate is approximately $1.3 billion. It warned a higher certainty cost estimate will be developed after receiving and negotiating all major contracts. In other news, the majority of persons who took part in the International Republican Institute National Public Opinion poll last January are unaware as to where they could access information relating to how the government will be spending profits gained from the country's oil reserves. A sizable portion of the 1,500 persons who took part in the survey also related a lack of interest in political news and information. These and other factors, some members of society believe, are contributing to the grim reality that despite the presence of oil and its massive potential to lift Guyana out of poverty, a large section of society seems uninterested in knowing about this new industry. And in other news, firefighters on Wednesday recovered the charred remains of a woman who was burnt to death inside of her bachelor's adventure home located on the east coast of Demerara. She was identified as Nicola Jacobs, a 51-year-old domestic worker employed with the St. Joseph Mercy Hospital and a mother of 10. According to her children, her partner, a 34-year-old man who lived with her, is claiming that the woman had set herself on fire following an argument they had, but they want police to conduct a thorough investigation into the matter because she was reportedly packing up her clothes to move out when the tragedy occurred. The woman's daughter, Tamiki, said even if it is a case of suicide, they want the police to investigate because their mother was a strong-willed person who fought herself out of difficult situations. And I'll just tell you, despite concerns being raised by environmentalists regarding the credibility of Environmental Resources Management, or ERM, which is the lone consultant that has been conducting environmental impact assessments for ExxonMobil, the company as well as the local regulator, the EPA, has again approved the firm to conduct such a study, this time for the gas-to-energy project. This was revealed yesterday when the environmental impact assessment was released, opening the 60-day period for the public to make submissions to the EPA on the proposed project. So far, ERM has been the only consultant since 2017 that has been conducting environmental impact assessments on behalf of the oil operator, Esso. To this end, during the last public consultations hosted in November on the Yellowtail project, the most recent to be approved, environmental activists questioned the independence and credibility of ERM. And in other news, Chancellor of the Judiciary Karl Singh was on Wednesday placed on Attorney at Law Nirvan Singh, the son of the former Chancellor of the Judiciary, Karl Singh, was on Wednesday placed on $100,000 bail when he denied a charge of allegedly using racial slurs towards an Afro-Guyanese woman who was tasked with guarding his residence. The police constable being Shaunet Ballers. He pleaded not guilty to the charge, which stated that on March 20th, by means of words spoken by him in a public space, willfully excited and or attempted to excite hostility and ill will against Ballers on the ground of her race as an Afro-Guyanese. Chief Magistrate McLennan granted bail and ordered the lawyer not to make contact or cause anyone to make contact with Ballers. He is expected to make his next court appearance on May 18th. And now let's tell you, President Irfan Ali has appointed retired Major General Joseph Singh as chairman of the Natural Resources Fund Board, the Office of the President said in a statement Wednesday. He also picked UK Member of Parliament David Lammy and the former Foreign Affairs Minister and now Guyana's permanent representative to the United Nations, Carlin Rodrigues. They will now join Dunstan Barrow and Mr. Ramesh Duku as the other board of directors. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news at noon. We will resume after the break.
Celebrate Easter with Digicel. Enjoy up to 50% discounts on selected smartphones in the month of April. Plus, get a free 30-day Prime bundle included with your purchase. Get the DL3 Pro, only $9,750, or the Samsung A035 with a free case and screen protector for just $32,000. Plus, enjoy a free 30-day Prime bundle with the best premium content on the go. Offer good while stocks last. Visit a Digicel store today. For even more details and discounts and amazing Easter gifts, make sure to check out the My Digicel app. Happy phone shopping and happy Easter from Digicel. Better together.
Guyana is now a full-fledged oil-producing nation. But how much do you know about this valuable yet finite resource? On our radio program, Guyana's Oil and You, we strike at the heart of every issue with informed views and credible data. The time is now for you to arm yourself with insightful knowledge on your oil wealth.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news coming from Paho in Washington, D.C. Over 2/3 of people in Latin America and the Caribbean have now received 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccine, while some countries have yet to reach even half of their populations. So said the PAHO director, Carissa Etienne. She has urged those who have not yet done so to get vaccinated and ensure their loved ones are also protected. In the Caribbean, less than 30% of people have received their first vaccine in Haiti, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and St. Lucia. And in Latin America, Guatemala, Guyana, and Paraguay have yet to reach 50% coverage. With schools set to reopen in the upcoming week, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said that his ministry will soon be launching a vaccination campaign in schools across the country to increase the uptake of COVID-19 vaccinations. This comes on the heels of what Minister Anthony described as pretty stagnant inoculation numbers in the younger age category. The minister expressed his belief that with the rollout of this new vaccination drive in schools, more students will be able to easily receive the jab. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health on Wednesday recorded a total of 9 new COVID-19 cases across the country, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 63,389. And moving on, a suspect who was on Monday seen by a police officer stabbing a man during Easter celebrations at the Mabaruma settlement ground in Region 1 is now telling investigators that they have the wrong man and he did not stab anyone. Police have since identified a suspect as a 48-year-old mason of Barimanobo, Mabaruma, Region 1. The man he allegedly stabbed was identified as 44-year-old Sherwin Smith, also of Mabaruma, and has since succumbed to his wounds. Smith and Mason knew each other well, and it is believed that a grievance between the two led to the stabbing. Region 1 Police Commander Himnat Sa said that an officer witnessed the moment Smith was stabbed and had intervened. Commander Sa said that a file will be prepared and sent for legal advice. In other news, the United Nations Development Programme and the Ministry of Agriculture Hydromet Service on Tuesday signed a handover agreement for 4 to 5 rain gauges and 90 measuring jars to support Guyana's sustainable disaster preparedness and response initiatives. UNDP is implementing a Japanese government-funded project strengthening disaster management capacity of women in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and Commonwealth of Dominica. That provided for the procurement of the rain gauges worth approximately $26,000. The items were formally handed over to the Ministry of Agriculture Hydromet Service that will be responsible for the installation at targeted communities in regions 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, the ministry stated in a press release. With the time now moving on to 12 hours 15 in Guyana, we wrap things up with the page 7 of today's Kaieteur News. confirmed the Chancellor and the Chief Justice. Guyanese do not agree on many things, but it seems they are at one when it comes to the appointment of a substantive Chancellor of the Judiciary and a Chief Justice. They are also at one that the two incumbents, who have been acting for years, Justice Janet Cummings Edwards and Roxanne George Wiltshire, respectively, must be confirmed. As the calls continue, it is now time for the President Irfan Ali and Opposition Leader Aubrey Norton to act. And while they are at it, it would only be fair that a decision is taken towards not just changing the legal formula used to appoint such persons, but to remove the appointments entirely from the realm of politicians and place it in the hand of a competent judiciary committee. Come on, lawmakers, let's make our judiciary truly autonomous and free from political influence. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Time check, 12 hours 17. We now resume with the rebroadcast of the Glenn and Our Show.
He tell the people how everybody want them to give the Guyanese people